Imagine being born in 14th century Europe, where every whisper in the village is about your family. Your bloodline is infamous, spoken of in hushed tones as if even the air itself is wary of your name. You enter the world not with celebration but with suspicion. The villagers believe your family is cursed, not doomed to die young but never allowed to escape a fate that clings to you like a second skin. This is the legacy you inherit, and it shapes every moment of your childhood, even before you can understand what it means. From the very beginning, your life is marked by a destiny so heavy that even the devil himself might hesitate to touch it. The weight of your family's reputation is something you feel before you can even speak. It's in the way your mother looks at you, her eyes full of worry and silent prayers. It's in the way the villagers avoid your home, crossing themselves as they pass by. You grow up knowing you are different but not yet understanding why. Your mother spends her days in constant prayer, her voice a soft murmur in the dim light of your home. She prays for your soul before you even know what a soul is. Her faith is both a shield and a cage meant to protect you from the world and from the darkness she fears is inside you. Every candle she lights, every whispered plea is a reminder of the burden your family carries. You watch her, not yet understanding the true reason for her fear. Your father is a shadow in your life, rarely home and always distant. When he does appear, there's a heaviness about him, a silence that fills the room. You sense that his absence is not just physical but emotional. He carries secrets you are too young to understand, and his presence is both comforting and unsettling. The mystery of his work lingers in the air, unspoken but ever present. At the age of 2, you have already survived both plague and famine. The villagers call it a blessing, but to you it feels like a curse. Survival means living long enough to face the truth about your family. The hardships you endure are just the beginning, a prelude to the real challenges that await. Each day you survive, the weight of your destiny grows heavier and the whispers around you grow louder. Surviving what should have killed you is seen as a miracle by some, but you begin to wonder if it's the worst misfortune of all. The villagers' eyes linger on you a little too long, their conversations stop when you approach. You realize that living means facing the reality of your family's reputation and the isolation that comes with it. The line between blessing and curse blurs, leaving you uncertain of your place in the world. 4 years old, you start to hear the whispers. They follow you everywhere, at the market, in the fields, even in your own home. The villagers make the sign of the cross whenever they pass your house, as if warding off evil. The sense of being watched, judged, and feared becomes a constant part of your life. You begin to understand that you are not just different, you are marked. Your mother never lets you play with the other children. She claims it's because of wild animals, but you soon realize the real danger is the villagers themselves. They throw stones at your window, shout curses, and keep their children far away from you. The loneliness is crushing, and you begin to see yourself through their fearful eyes. Childhood for you is a time of solitude and suspicion. It takes time, but you eventually realize that the wild animals your mother warned you about are not wolves or bears, they are the villagers. Their fear turns to anger and their anger to cruelty. You learn to avoid their gaze, to keep your head down, and to find comfort in the small, quiet moments at home. The world outside is hostile and you are always on guard. One day, curiosity gets the better of you. You sneak away from home and find yourself in the village square, drawn by the sound of a gathering crowd. The air is thick with anticipation and fear. You push through the throng, trying to see what has captured everyone's attention. What you witness will change your life forever. In the center of the square stands a wooden platform. Screams echo through the air, followed by desperate begging. The smell of blood and fear is overwhelming. A man in a hood stands on the platform, holding a dreadful metal instrument. The crowd parts as he moves, some spitting in disgust, others staring in horror. You watch, frozen, as the scene unfolds before your eyes. Hooded man is the center of everyone's attention. His presence commands both fear and respect. You watch as he moves with a sense of purpose, his every action deliberate. The villagers shrink away from him, unwilling to meet his gaze. There is something familiar about the way he stands, the way he holds himself. Then, in a moment of shock, you recognize the face beneath the hood. The realization hits you like a blow. The man beneath the hood is your father. The shock is overwhelming and you struggle to make sense of what you are seeing. The father you know at home is not the same man who stands before the crowd, wielding instruments of pain. The truth of his profession is suddenly, painfully clear. At night you cannot sleep. The image of your father on the platform haunts you. You demand answers, desperate to understand the truth. Your father's hands are scarred and stained, the marks of his terrible work. He sits you down and tells you everything, his voice heavy with regret and resignation. The secrets of your family are finally laid bare. Your father explains his role in the village. He's the torturer, the one called upon to inflict pain and extract confessions. When someone is accused of stealing, speaking against the church, or even looking at a priest the wrong way, they are brought to him. His job is to make them confess, whether they are guilty or not. The horror of his work is matched only by the burden it places on your family. Your father tells you that nobody chooses this work. No one wakes up wishing to break bones for a living. Torturers are made by inheritance, not by choice. Your grandfather did this work, as did his father before him. The role is passed down like a sickness in the blood, a legacy that cannot be escaped. The realization fills you with dread and sorrow. The profession of torturer is not just a job, it is a family tradition, one that stretches back generations. Each member of your bloodline has carried this burden, passing it on to the next. The weight of history presses down on you, making it clear that your fate was decided long before you were born. The sense of inevitability is suffocating. Villagers' fear of your family is rooted in centuries of pain and suffering. They see you not as a child but as the next in a long line of tormentors. Their fear turns to hatred and their hatred to violence. You become a symbol of everything they dread, and there is no escape from their suspicion. The isolation deepens, and you begin to question your own humanity. Your family's reputation isolates you from the rest of the village. You are watched, judged, and avoided at every turn. The loneliness is profound, and you struggle to find meaning in a world that has already decided your fate. The walls of your home become both a refuge and a prison, keeping you safe from the villagers but also trapping you in your family's legacy. As you grow older, the weight of your inheritance becomes impossible to ignore. Every decision you make is shaped by the knowledge of what your family has done. The future feels predetermined, and the possibility of escape seems remote. You begin to wonder if there is any way to break the cycle, or if you are doomed to repeat the sins of your ancestors. You start to ask questions about your family, about your father's work, about the world beyond your village. The answers you receive are rarely satisfying. The adults speak in riddles or avoid your gaze. You sense that there are truths too terrible to be spoken aloud, and that your curiosity is both dangerous and necessary. With each new piece of knowledge, the burden you carry grows heavier. You begin to understand the true cost of your family's legacy, not just to the victims but to your own soul. The knowledge changes you, making you older than your years. You struggle to reconcile the love you feel for your family with the horror of what they have done. Your father's regret is palpable. He never wanted this life for you, but he sees no way out. His hands, scarred and stained, are a constant reminder of the pain he has caused. He tries to shield you from the worst of it, but the truth is impossible to hide. His sorrow becomes your own, and you begin to understand the true meaning of inheritance. No matter what you do, the villagers' judgment is inescapable. They see you as guilty by association, a future torturer in the making. Their fear and hatred are passed down to their children, ensuring that the cycle of suspicion continues. You long for acceptance, but it remains out of reach. Your mother does everything she can to protect you from the world outside. She keeps you close, shielding you from the villagers' cruelty. Her love is fierce, but it cannot erase the reality of your family's reputation. You are grateful for her care, but you know that it is not enough to change your fate. Rumors about your family spread like wildfire. Every misfortune in the village is blamed on your bloodline. Crops fail, it's your curse. A child falls ill, your family is to blame. The power of these rumors is immense, shaping the way everyone sees you and reinforcing the walls that separate you from the rest of the world. Your family suffers not just from the villagers' hatred but from the knowledge of what they have done. The pain is both physical and emotional, a constant reminder of the price of survival. You see it in your father's eyes, in your mother's prayers, and in your own heart. The suffering is a legacy all its own. Despite everything, the cycle continues. Each generation inherits the role of torturer, and each child is marked by the sins of their ancestors. The villagers' fear ensures that no one else will take on the job, and so your family remains trapped in a role they never chose. The sense of inevitability is overwhelming. Despite the isolation and fear, you find ways to endure. You develop a resilience born of necessity, learning to navigate a world that is hostile and unforgiving. Small moments of joy, a kind word from your mother, a quiet evening at home, become precious. You cling to hope even when it seems impossible. As you grow, you search for meaning in your family's suffering. You wonder if there is a reason for your fate or if it is simply the result of cruel chance. The search for answers becomes a central part of your life, driving you to question everything you have been taught. Silence becomes a constant companion. There are things that cannot be spoken, secrets that must be kept. The silence is both a shield and a burden, protecting you from the villagers but also isolating you from your own family. You learn to read between the lines to understand what is left unsaid. The legacy of pain is not just physical, it is emotional and spiritual as well. Each member of your family carries scars that cannot be seen, wounds that never fully heal. The pain is passed down from one generation to the next, a reminder of the cost of survival. Despite the weight of history, you begin to hope for change. You dream of a future where your family is free from its cursed legacy, where you can choose your own path. The hope is fragile, but it gives you strength to keep going, even when the odds seem insurmountable. You begin to realize that, even in the face of destiny, you have the power to choose. The choices may be limited, but they are yours to make. Each decision is an act of defiance against the fate that has been handed to you. The power of choice becomes a source of strength. Through it all, the bond between your family members remains strong. You support each other in the face of adversity, finding comfort in shared suffering. The love you share is a light in the darkness, a reminder that you are not alone. Together, you face whatever the world throws at you. You begin to wonder if redemption is possible. Can the sins of the past ever be forgiven? Is there a way to break the cycle and start anew? The struggle for redemption becomes a central theme in your life, driving you to seek forgiveness and understanding. Memory is both a blessing and a curse. You remember the pain, the fear, and the isolation, but also the moments of love and hope. The burden of memory shapes who you are, influencing every decision you make. You carry the past with you even as you try to move forward. Despite everything, the future is not yet written. You have the power to shape your own destiny, to break free from the chains of the past. The road ahead is uncertain, but it is yours to walk. With hope and determination, you set out to create a new legacy for your family. Breaking free from your family's cursed legacy is not easy. It requires courage, sacrifice, and a willingness to face the unknown. You know that the path will be difficult, but you are determined to try. The chains of the past may be strong, but your resolve is stronger. With each step you take, you move closer to a new beginning. The past will always be a part of you, but it does not have to define you. You are more than your family's legacy. You are your own person, capable of forging a different path. The hope for a better future drives you forward. Forgiveness is a powerful force. It allows you to let go of the pain of the past and embrace the possibility of change. You learn to forgive your family, the villagers, and even yourself. The act of forgiveness is not easy, but it is necessary for healing and growth. With time, you begin to rewrite your family's legacy. The past cannot be changed, but the future is yours to shape. You choose kindness over cruelty, hope over despair. The legacy you leave behind is one of resilience, courage, and love. You discover a strength within yourself that you never knew existed. The challenges you have faced have made you resilient and determined. You are no longer defined by your family's past, but by your own actions and choices. The strength within you becomes a beacon of hope for the future. Through your efforts, your family begins to change. The bonds between you grow stronger and the weight of the past becomes lighter. Together, you face the future with hope and determination. The transformation is slow, but it is real. Your family is no longer defined by its curse, but by its resilience and love. In the end, you realize that destiny is not set in stone. The choices you make, the love you share, and the hope you hold onto can change the course of your life. Your family's story is no longer one of curse and suffering, but of transformation and hope. The future is yours to create, and you step into it with courage and determination.